director and one of the co-founders of Everdale. Everdale is one of Canada's oldest not-for-profit teaching farms, and we're thrilled to be applying for the Peavey Industries grant. At Everdale, we believe that good food is the foundation of a healthy and thriving society, and that it takes a community to feed a community. As part of our work, each year we grow over $100,000 worth of fresh food for food insecure community members. The farm is also an outdoor classroom, and we encourage people of all ages and stages of life to come and learn at the farm.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, one of the farm assistant coordinators at Everdale. Every year we host hundreds of people. We train young people to become farmers. We teach kids about food and nature. We engage youth and seniors in food growing, and we host local businesses who want to give back to the community.
Everdale was established in 1966 when it made headlines across Canada as Canada's first alternative free school, where students learned practical skills in food and farming, completing their high school diplomas. In 1998, we pivoted and we became a social enterprise and not-for-profit community teaching farm. Since 1998, we've hosted over 80,000 people at the farm to learn about food and farming.
Our farm operates as a social enterprise, with revenue going to support our charitable mission. We sell the fresh food that we grow via a method called Community Shared Agriculture, where people pay an annual membership and receive a portion of the harvest from the farm. Currently, there are over 100 local families that are Everdale Farm members. Over the years, we've worked to address food insecurity throughout our region of Guelph, Wellington, be either through the formation of urban farm projects, food donations, or partnering in the creation of 5 other community farms.
Creation of urban farm projects like Guelph Youth Farm, Erin District High School, and Shelldale Farm Park in Guelph would not have been possible without the support of our local Peavey barns. Not only did we use supplies off the shelf to create those farm projects, but we also really needed and gained a lot of value from the expertise of the regional managers who helped us support find supplies for the projects. We also sourced a lot of supplies for the farm in Hillsborough from the local Peavey barns as well.
In 2018, we made the decision to focus even more on addressing food insecurity in our community and formed the Good Food Project. We partnered with local community agencies such as the Seed in Guelph, East Wellington Community Services, and the United Way. Through this project, large volumes of food are grown by Everdale and distributed to community members in need.
I'm David Alexander, Farm Programs Coordinator here at Everdale Farm. The Good Food Project is focused on increasing access to food for food insecure community members in our region of Guelph, Dufferin, and Wellington. Food insecurity here is higher than the national average. Roughly 16% are experiencing some degree of food insecurity, and it's only gotten worse with the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the long-term outcomes of the Good Food Project is the development of additional urban farm spaces, most recently the Shelldale Farm Park. These spaces will continue to teach farming and gardening skills to local residents that will help to increase our community's access to good food. Our community has the right to healthy and culturally appropriate food produced through ecological and sustainable methods, and our community has the right to define their own food and agricultural systems, not being reliant on the globalized system currently in place. To achieve our immediate goals of addressing food insecurity, we commit to growing a set number of acres of produce between our 50-acre community farm and neighboring 100-acre community farm, Bala Farm, that is strictly for the Good Food Project. In 2021, we grew 100,000 pounds of produce that was distributed by partnering food agencies in Guelph, Wellington County, Dufferin County, and the regional municipality of Peel. The previous model was either wholesale food grown to an agency who would pay us from grant money, or we would donate the food without any compensation. This isn't quite financially secure for us, and we've tweaked the model moving forward to acquire grants and donations up front to cover the cost of labor and materials for the growing of food. That grade A food is then donated to our partners who distribute it into the community without the need to pay for any of it. Our core crops grown for donation through the project include carrots, potatoes, beets, and winter squash. At times, we also grow larger volumes of lettuce and brassica and spinach for donation as well. Food is much more than an economic commodity. It's a social connector. It's fresh air, it's water, it's living topsoil. It's nourishment, it's medicine, it's comfort. It's who we are, where we were going, and where we come from. With the help of Peavey Industries, we hope to undertake the necessary repairs and upgrades to our harvest wagons, vegetable storage, as well as the purchase of materials for the project, things like seeds and hand tools for our volunteers. A grant from Peavey Industries would also help to cover the cost of labor for field assistants and the project manager. Essentially, every dollar received from Peavey would equate to $1.60 of food that we could produce and donate. Thank you for your consideration, Peavey Industries.
The Good Food Project started with weekly volunteer afternoons where folks helped to plant and weed crops. We ended the season with one community harvest day in the fall of 2019 with 20 or so volunteers helping to harvest carrots. In 2021, we've grown to host over 26 community planting and harvest days with over 400 volunteers, and we expect to surpass that in 2022. The volume of crops that we commit to growing is so large, to effectively harvest them we would need specialized equipment. And while we have acquired some, such as a potato digger, we still believe that involving the community is one of the best ways. It helps to connect the community to where their food comes from and lets them get hands-on experience with the crops that will be distributed throughout the region. While we are asking for $100,000 as part of the grant application, we recognize that there are other great organizations throughout this country that could use these funds as well. While Everdale can put the full $100,000 to use in 2022 and into 2023, we could use any amount that Peavey Industries could provide. And the essential breakdown of the grant would be that 60% would go towards our labor costs for the Good Food Project, and 40% would go towards the purchase of materials and supplies, as well as some repairs. We would be planning to distribute most of the funds within 2022 if successful, but there may be some carryover into 2023, which would help to kickstart the Good Food Project in that year by having funds available to purchase seed and cover the initial labor. The majority of grant funds would go to cover labor, including the back-end administration time for planning, supervising volunteers, but as well as our farmers' time to seed, cultivate, and lead the larger harvests. The other 40%, as mentioned, will go towards the purchase of materials and supplies. There are some basic material costs that this grant would help cover, such as seed, soil amendments like compost, but also help us to purchase additional small hand tools for volunteers and supplies needed to undertake some repairs to our infrastructure like our greenhouse and harvest wagons. Funds would also help to cover the cost of hiring an electrical contractor to connect our larger vegetable storage container to the on-farm system so we can keep produce cool throughout the summer months and fluctuating fall days.
There are no simple solutions to the complex challenge of creating an ecologically sustainable and socially just food system. Everdale's Good Food Project and our other programs are pieces in a large-scale food system puzzle that we all need to build together. It's a beautiful puzzle, but it's complex. It's made up of vibrant farms, community gardens, food waste reduction initiatives, decentralized distribution, children learning lifelong food skills, and collaborations between many different stakeholders. We are a long way from food sovereignty, and even here at Everdale, we rely on the supply chain for some of our foods and other implements for the farm. In terms of evaluating our outcomes of theory of change for the project, we believe that over time we would like to see a drop in the use of food banks, more people connected to their food system, how their food is grown, and participating in the growing of their own food.